What's up, you guys? Today we're going to be installing the wool in the roof. I spent the last hour or two measuring and figuring out what the layout's going to be like, and I decided I'm going to use a bunch of battens to put the wool up, make sure it's held in place. Then I can also use these to attach the roofing or the ceiling boards. All these boards were old deck material that I got from my sister and brother-in-law's deck remodel, so shout out you guys, thank you. And I ripped them in half, roughly in half, to about 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. They should work pretty good. So, let's do it. The first thing we have to do is take off all of these old supports that I used so that we have room to install the battens. So that's job number one. Luckily, I put most of these in with screws, so it shouldn't be too hard to get them out. But let's see what we got. All right, wish me luck. Not too bad. Cool, not too bad. I think we're ready to put the battens up. I just need to double check my measurements and cut them to the right size. I didn't have any 12-foot span lengths of lumber, which is what the total length of the roof is. So I'm gonna be using 2 6-foot sections interlaced at the center. Hopefully that'll do the job. All right. Hello, my friendly dirtbags. It is that time of the video where I'm going to steal you away and talk about my Patreon for a minute. Ever since I started to get a little more controversial online with my political statements, I have noticed a pretty good degree of censorship on some of the videos with hot button terms. Aside from that, the only way I've found to make money in the creator economy so far is to either go viral on a regular basis or run a bunch of ad deals. In an effort to get away from all of that, I'm trying to build up Patreon subs so that I can keep my content accessible to everyone, relatively ad-free, interesting, fun, and still talking about the reality of the world that we live in without having to bend my knee to the holy algorithm. If you do sub at the $5 Dirtbag tier right now, you get access to a private Discord community where we're chatting about our builds, music that we're interested in, and just kind of getting to know each other. I also recently pulled all my music off of streaming platforms because I just don't want to support that economy anymore, and I've made it all available for download through my Patreon. You get it in 3 different file formats with the album art already uploaded. It should work in almost any music player that you use. I'm not going to harp on it for too long, you guys. Thanks for being here and watching, even if you're not in a position to support me financially right now. Every like, share, comment, all of that stuff makes a big difference. With that, we might as well get back to the build because there's still a lot to do. So I got a little ahead of myself and just started installing battens and insulation without really filming much. I had to pull out this bottom brace that I was going to use to install a skylight because it was interfering with the battens, but this is basically the process. So I just went through and laid out one section and it actually went pretty smoothly. The basic idea here is that I'm going to put 3 battens on each side and then 2 down the center. We'll have our boards coming up, and then there'll be a nice flat portion on the top that I can insulate as well. So yeah, we're moving right along. Let's get on the next one. All right, it's a new day. The ceiling is officially insulated and it's looking pretty good. It's all staying in place. Doesn't seem to be having any issues falling out. As I was installing everything, I kind of realized that there's going to be a couple issues that I'm going to need to address. I might have to change the technique that I was planning to use. I think the main issue is going to be the splits in the battens here. When I was visioning this in my head, I was picturing just a couple straight across boards that would make attaching everything a little bit simpler, but because there's those splits, it makes it a little more complicated for finishing the top layer. Also, technically for this roof style, I do need to have some bracing to make sure that the roof doesn't collapse under load. So I think what I'm going to do is come back through and install some braces along that center portion, which will also give me a better surface to attach some more battens to so that I can finish the ceiling boards and make it all look more seamless. But beyond that, we are basically almost done insulating. The last thing I have to do is these top little triangle portions of the roof. And before I can do that, I got to install a little bit of framing so that I have a place to attach the wall boards to, as well as a place for the insulation to sit so that it doesn't fall out. That's going to be in the next video, and I think in that video we're also going to try to get some roof boards up so that we can start to see how this thing's going to look. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Dirtbag America out.